Hello there, everybody. This is General Snivy, and welcome back to more of the Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut playthrough. Last time, we completed 3 more stories within the adventure mode, which were Knuckles, Amy, and E102 Gamma. I almost called him Omega again. Sweet Jesus. I really am losing my mind. Anyway, today, we're going to be continuing our adventure, and we're going to be starting the great fishing adventure with your host, Big the Mother Truckin' Cat. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Alright, let's begin. I must say Froggy. Okay, I'll stop now. I wonder what the hell Chaos did to that frog. Well, for one thing, it gave it its tail. How? No clue. Don't ask. It's video game logic at its finest.
What? Froggy, is that you? You're looking kinda weird, good buddy. What's up with the tail?
Good question.
Hey, wait a minute! You swallowed my lucky charm!
I guess Froggy thought it was magically delicious.
What's wrong with you? Something's not right. We've always been friends. For years. Froggy! Wait up! Oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed.
Yoo-hoo, Froggy! Come out, wherever you are! Oh man, where could that Pollywog pal be anyway?
God only knows. It could be someplace far away, like the Netherlands, or right up your bum. Nah. Big really isn't that bad of a person. In fact, he's actually one of the kinder folks in the Sonic universe, really. Also, we have a lure power-up right here. Uses to catch bigger fish. When it comes to Big the Cat and his upgrades, he has the most upgrades out of all characters in the entire game. And basically all of his upgrades consist of lure upgrades, a rod upgrade, which we saw back at Big's house, along with one other upgrade we'll be getting in a short while, and some other things. Can we talk, please?
Eggman.
Indeed. He ain't no Eggman.
We have to find the rest of the missing Chaos Emeralds.
Then why are you two just standing around? Seriously, like, what's up with that? Well, regardless, our search for Froggy officially begins. And no, its name is not Sue. I wish. She's my kind of Froggy I want to be with.
Froggy, there you are. Wait, don't run away. What you doing under that car? What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know, Big. Maybe the fact that you are friends with a frog and frogs are kind of natural enemies to cats, or it's the other way around. Regardless, though, maybe he's tired of your crap. Who knows? Anyway, our first stop is actually right here. It's also kind of funny how Big's tail gets caught in the elevator door. Also kind of strange how going through the sewers that way takes you to the Twinkle Park entrance. I don't understand or know why that works, but it is the way it is. So, Big's stage is comprised of fishing! So yeah, that's his gimmick. Also, nice cast. Big can't really do much when it comes to attacking enemies. He can use his rod to hit enemies with, but it's kind of hit and miss, especially with the default rod. I mean, sweet Jesus. Have you seen how skinny this thing is? Good Lord above. So anyway, our goal is to just sit here and fish for Froggy. And that's usually how these missions go. Controlling the rod is a challenge within itself. Because, sweet Jesus, this is something that is like a mortal sin. Good Lord. So, how you change directions of the rod is determined purely by the camera. A good rule of thumb is, if you want the rod to go in a particular direction, such as right or left, move the analog stick in the opposite direction, and it'll move in the direction you want it to go. Also, come on, Froggy, what the hell? Oh, come on, man! The only times that the rod actually turns in the right direction is if the rod is literally facing you. Or the camera is, rather. What the hell? Why is Froggy not taking it? What am I doing wrong here? Come on, you. Also, apologies for the glitchy background. I'm not really sure what to describe this as. Regardless, though, it's kind of messed up. Great. Am I soft locked here? I think I am. Great. Well, that's a reset. I never knew you could get soft locked fishing! Good job, game. Great design! So, anyway, along with the moving controls of moving the rod after you casted your line, to reel it in, from what I hear in the original Dreamcast release, you had to basically rotate the analog stick like you're playing a Mario Party 1 minigame, like Tug of War, for example. Sweet, merciful Jesus, I can't even imagine. But with all releases of Sonic Adventure DX, the controls obviously changed for the better. And I did not mean to catch you. Crap. Well, I guess we'll show this off. Whenever a fish or Froggy bites onto the line, start reeling in and watch this meter on the right. If the meter exceeds and fills up completely, the rod or the line will snap and you will lose a life as a result. So anyway, back to the control thing of what I was trying to mention before. All re-releases of Sonic Adventure DX improved on the rod controls significantly. Well, in a sense. Okay, maybe not significantly, like in the sense of actually moving in the correct direction. No, I wish it was that good, but sadly it's not. The improvement that they made is that you no longer have to rotate the analog stick to reel in the rod. Instead, you just hold down the A button to reel it in nice and quick. If you want to go slower, such as trying to lure in a fish from a distance, just push and hold either the B or X button. this is assuming, of course, you're using an Xbox 360 controller. If you're using a PlayStation controller, I believe that would be circle or square. Just saying. You gotta be kidding me. Am I soft locked again? Yeah, apparently I am. Oh, there we go. Finally, I got it unstuck. I would love to stay under the water here to get a better view, but just like with all other characters in the game, Big 2 cannot swim. And that is kind of lame. By the way, to cast out your lure into the water or watery surface, just hold down the X button. There we go, finally. Just gotta take our time and wait. Ah, bloody white kid! I don't even. God damn it. I hate that crap. I can never determine whether or not the line is going to snap or not. And honestly, I have the reaction time of a sloth when it comes to fishing. I never liked fishing, and I don't think I ever will. Even in this game, it doesn't make things better. Okay. Obviously, I need to cast this further than what I'm casting at now. So, when it comes to the regular missions on for Big the Cat, they range from anywhere for less than a minute to approximately a half hour plus. It really depends on the RNG of the fish, whether or not Froggy takes the bait, and whether or not you're able to successfully reel him in. There we go. Finally! That definitely should not have taken anywhere near as long.
Not too bad.
Not too bad, my ass. My god. Also, for whatever reason, that quote that Big just spoke, it was removed with all releases of Sonic Adventure DX as far as I know, and with Better SADX that line was added back in. I guess? I really don't know the reason why. Don't ask. Oh, come on. Get up there, please. I guess to make up for the fact that Big is literally bigger than a freaking safe, or as big as the freaking building we're standing in front of, Big's default movement speed is actually pretty solid. Like, one of the more solid movement speeds there is. And what's even funnier is that he's technically faster than even Amy Rose, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever goddamn ever. Ah, crap baskets. Not this. Okay. There's supposed to be a cutscene that triggers there, but for whatever reason, I think with this mod, the cutscene fails to play. And I actually ran into a game-breaking issue where the game would constantly crash every time I would approach that area. But I guess with a more recent update to the mods, they made it so the bug is not as severe. It still occurs, but it doesn't crash the game anymore. So that's pretty nice. What's also nice? This. This is a godsend.
You've discovered the life belt. It keeps you afloat when you're in water. To swim underwater, press the jump button when afloat.
That's pretty neat. Although it is kind of funky with the way it works. So that is something you kind of need to keep in mind. How this works is kind of baffling. Also, watch as Big climb this ladder gracefully. It's kind of weird how he has the fastest climbing speed out of all characters in the entire game. It's really, really strange and surreal. Alright. Ice Cap Zone. This is where... This first lake of water is where you'll be able to find Froggy. However, within this level, there is another lore upgrade here, which is kind of strange. This is the only level I know of that has a lore upgrade within it, which I find pretty interesting. Getting to this lore upgrade is a bit of a challenge within itself, and I definitely want to pick this up before leaving. There are a lot of places you can go and explore within Ice Cap, but if you just want to progress and leave the place more quickly, you will just have to stay in one spot in order to go anywhere. Also, another thing that's really annoying is that this stage is considered the worst stage in the entire game for Big and his fishing scheme. I'm just saying, it is that bad. And the whole reason why is because you have to work with a very, very small space while trying to fish through these little itty-bitty holes. Just saying, it's not fun. And there we go. We got ourselves another lore power-up. So what these lore power-ups do is that it allows you to not only be able to catch bigger fish, but it also allows bigger fish to even spawn in the first place. Plus, I think it also increases the durability of the rod. I mean, well, yeah, the rod, I think, and also the fishing line itself. So it makes catching smaller fish that much easier and less painful. So at least there's that. Now then, time to get back to where Froggy is. Which, let me tell you, it's a lot easier said than done. Although, I think we're already there. Yeah, that seems about right. So, like I said, we have a very, very small space to work in. And what's even more annoying is fishing in here is one hell of a challenge. How exactly? Well, other than the crappy turning angles and camera angles that, in general, we also have to deal with the fact that if a fish snags the line, it's possible that the line will just magically separate from you and the fish, forcing you to recast. Thankfully, it doesn't break the line and force you to lose a life or anything, but even so, it's still annoying beyond comprehension. Of course, I didn't showcase this here, but even so, for later missions, this is where things really start to become apparent.
Not too bad.
Let me tell you, it ain't gonna be fun. But even so, it's something we gotta deal with as part of the completionist criteria. So getting back to the bug that I was talking about earlier, if you encounter the bug and the game does crash on you, you would have to do a bit of a weird workaround where you're essentially changing the camera from its current auto camera setting to free camera, and then just have it face big at all times and blindly run into the cave with the ice stone. And after you beat Ice Cap, that's when you're able to progress further into the game with no fear of crashing whatsoever.
Oh no, he's got my little bunny. Whoa! Ooh,
Oh my.
glad I found you.
Oops.
Oh, now what am I gonna do?
Go after him, you dummy. Oh boy. Well, Froggy got away again. Fantastic. Oh boy. Well, I guess our next stop is once again going to be Station Square. Come on, get in. Thank you. Hello, Sonic. How are you?
That robot! I better go after Amy!
Yeah, why don't you do that instead of standing around like a freaking doofus? I don't get it. Aha! Did Froggy just walk through a wall or hop through a wall? I mean, it's not like the door's actually opened or anything, but even so, it's kind of weird. Alright, let's head off to the next stage, which is Emerald Coast. Of all places to search, why here? Exactly. Well, your guess is as good as mine. So anyway, Emerald Coast is one of those stages where you can just simply kick back, relax, and just cast your line. And with the new flotation upgrade that Big has under his belt, quite literally, this makes fishing for fish here so much easier. Just because you can float within the water and be fairly close to the fish as well. So that's pretty neat. Oh my god. Go away, please. I don't want you here. Not yet. I will say this at the very least. The music for Emerald Coast when it comes to Big's variation of the stage is quite relaxing, if I do say so myself. Kind of gives off vibes of a bit of Animal Crossing, in a sense. But not to the same extent, of course, but even so. There we go. All done.
Not too bad.
Yoink.
Froggy? Uh-oh. No! Hold on there! Come back, please! Give me my friend back! I'm begging you, please!
That's too funny. I also find it kind of funny how Gamma was like going like he was really, really getting into that frog for some reason. I don't freaking even.
Froggy? This place doesn't look familiar to me at all. Smells like Froggy's around somewhere. Think I'll see what's behind this door.
Which door? The one on the left, the one on the right, or the one in the middle? I mean, it should be pretty obvious, but even so. Kind of funny if you think about it. Funny enough, you can actually go inside 2 out of these 3 doors if you so wish. And again, just like before, with this particular door, you cannot play Hedgehog Whack. Also, another lore upgrade. We have another lore power-up. This is the 3rd one, I think. I'm not sure how many lore upgrades there are. I believe there's either 4 or 5 of them. I'm pretty sure there's 4. But I could be wrong. So in total, Big has about 6 or 7 upgrades he can get in the entire game. And that includes all the lore upgrades you can get as well. onward to Hot Shelter. So for this stage, we do have to go quite a bit of ways within the stage in order to find where Froggy is currently swimming at. Although finding him really isn't anything too difficult whatsoever. Well, that was a load of bullcrap. Well, here we are. This is where we need to be.
Ah, there's Froggy. Looks like he needs my help.
Are you sure about that, Big? I think he may actually be more than just fine, more than happy to take care of himself, if you know what I mean. Anyway, after flooding this first area, for the most part, you can actually start fishing for Froggy here if you wish. Which honestly is not a bad idea. One other thing to keep in mind is that even though we have this flotation device, while Big is constantly going up and down due to the physics of him falling underwater and then rising back up again, you can't cast your line while you're bobbing up and down. So that is something you need to keep in mind. By the way, I believe you cannot be too close to the fish at all while you're fishing for them whatsoever. If you get too close, well then, when you're trying to recast the line or try to get them to be lured to your line, that is... I wouldn't say it's a recipe for disaster, far from it actually. Okay, maybe I need to be a little bit further back than this. There we go, that seems about right. Come here!
Something's biting.
So one big benefit of casting out your line as close as possible is when you do eventually manage to snag in a fish or manage to take him in, you'll get him nice and close to you and you can bring him in basically immediately. However, the further you cast out, the more difficult it'll be to catch the fish. Or Froggy. Just saying. Okay, there's 2 Froggies in the water. How?
We're together again at last, huh? Huh? That's strange.
Indeed it is.
Where am I? Froggy?
That's weird. How the hell did we end up here? Also, why is it that Tikal decided to call upon Big to show him this past sequence? I don't get it. It's not like he's important in any way.
Is it alright for me to be here? So do you trust me? So these are the 7 emeralds. Could it be? The servers are the 7 Chaos Emeralds, unified by one that is the controller. The 7 Chaos... the controller itself. Could this be the emerald that controls the 7 Chaos?
Could very well be. I mean, it's called the Master Emerald after all.
Froggy? I don't like the looks of this place. If something happens now, there's no point to my rescuing you. I don't know who would bother to save us both.
I'm sure there'd be plenty of people who would be more than happy to save you both.
Get going, buddy.
Emergency alert has been cancelled. Resuming monorail operations.
That's neat. So now that the emergency system has been disengaged, it's time to leave this place. Off we go. It is pretty neat how the A carrier is still in flight technically, but not for long. I know that for a fact. Also, hi there, Chaos. How you doing? What? Why are you floating there?
So, I see you're trying to escape. I'm right on time. Chaos, grab him! Get that frog! And don't forget the Chaos Emerald.
Honestly, I don't even know how Chaos managed to convince Froggy to spit out the emerald. I mean, granted, I know...
Right, and now for the frog. The frog is possessed by your tail. Once you get your tail, you'll be complete and ultra strong.
Well, it looks like now things are making a hell of a lot more sense. Hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Blaze Troops. Blaze Troops. Yeah, third session of this game.
Unbelievable! Look what happened! Chaos has transformed again!
Huh?
Uh-oh. Gotta go!
Froggy? I'll save you. Don't worry, Pally.
So, he's your friend, eh? No sweat. I'll get him back. Watch me.
It's Big the Cat. That's whose story we're taking on this time.
Careful, Froggy. Don't worry. We'll get you back.
So, time for the first and only boss fight in Big Story. All you literally have to do is throw your lure into Chaos and wait for the targeting cursor to appear, aim, fire, done. It's literally that easy.
Hooray!
Also, I don't think Chaos even attacks you at all.
I won't let
Then again, he probably does.
Go on and get out of here. I'll do the rest.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Come, little buddy. Time to get a move on.
Yes, indeed. It is time to get a move on. Time to head on out of here.
Huh? What? Hey, maybe we could use this. But I don't know the first thing about it. Oh well, I'll give it a try anyway.
Yes, he is. Probably one of the more derpy characters in the Sonic universe. But To give him credit, he's actually smart enough to be able to fly the damn Tornado 2 on his own. I don't even. Funny enough, he doesn't know a damn thing about it, and yet he's able to fly the damn thing. With grace. Like an ace pilot. Just saying. There we go. That's the end of not only Big Story, but basically all character stories in general. And after completing all character stories, one more becomes unlocked.
Sega.
And before we get started, there are a few things that I need to do. First off, I need to pee like a Russian racehorse. I'll be back soon. Perfect timing. Anyway, I have returned, if you couldn't tell. Anyway, the final story that is unlocked after completing all other character stories is Supersonic. That's definitely not the most surprising thing ever. Yep, Supersonic is in the game. But before we start the final story, there are a couple more things I need to pick up with Big the Cat, which are his 2 remaining upgrades. So, let's go. Back to the field we go. So if you may be wondering, where the hell are Big's remaining upgrades at exactly? Well, I'll tell you. I'll gladly tell you. First off, we need to return to the Mystic Ruins and go to an area where we technically were during Cutscene Land, but never in any other part of the game because there was really no reason to go there except for 2 more upgrades, like I said. Which I'm pretty sure they're both in the same area, just in different parts of it. So first off, let's head on over. Let's head over to Big's place. Onward to Big's house, and afterwards, we'll grab the final lore upgrade for Big the freaking Cat. I wonder if Froggy's real name is Karen. Wouldn't that be something? No. Sorry, I had to do it. Okay. First off, time to grab this. Boop.
It's the power rod. You now have longer casting distance.
Pretty sweet. So that's really all it does. It increases the max distance that you can cast your line at. I believe it is able to cast up to 50 meters. I'm pretty sure. Regardless though, it is a pretty nice upgrade, all things considered. Now then, as far as the final lore upgrade is concerned, as far as I know of, it's in one of these 2 dead-end-like areas within the forest. So, okay, not quite that way. Aha, here we go. I think it's like right over here. Yep, here it is. Another lore power-up. Use this to catch even bigger fish. Indeed it is. And I believe that is indeed the last upgrade in the entire game. And that's for all characters as far as I know. Now, with all upgrades obtained, it's time for the final story, Supersonic. And we're not even an hour into this session, which is insane. Alright, let's go! Angel Island has fallen again. I wonder why that is. I mean, the Master Emerald's restored, so what gives? Guess we'll find out soon.
I hate that Sonic. ego seems to get in my way. I bet it can foil my master plan. Chaos!
That doesn't sound good.
The Master Emerald is where it belongs. But Angel Island is still falling. This doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Maybe those Chaos Emeralds that I brought back with me have something to do with what's happening. I'll take them to Sonic for his advice. Eggman!
How the hell did he end up there?
This is terrible! Chaos
Is what?
Guess Eggman learned his lesson. Yep. And maybe I'll take another vacation somewhere.
Sonic!
Hey there, Tails! Did you find the tornado too?
Never mind that. Get up and follow me. Angel Island is falling again.
Hey, no way! Who blew it this time?
Oh, I don't know, but we better hurry.
What's also kind of funny was that Tails just slid into the scene, literally like he was freaking Michael Jackson. Except he was doing the reverse moonwalk rather than the traditional moonwalk. I don't get it! Well, regardless though, looks like trouble is a-brewing. Funny enough, during Supersonic's story, you can technically return to you can return to basically any area in the entire game, as far as I know, and replay any of Sonic's stages, if you so wish. But why would you do that exactly without getting into, well, Sonic's actual story during the adventure field or in the menus? Your guess is as good as mine at this point. Obviously, I went the wrong way, so goody goody.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
Alright. So, in order to figure out what the hell is going on here, we do have to race over to where Knuckles is. Over towards this mysterious island that's just sitting in the middle of nowhere. Whoa, that doesn't look good.
Sonic, sorry.
Knuckles! And Eggman! What happened here?
He stole my Chaos Emeralds. And Chaos is still alive.
What?
Ah! He's not gonna get away with this!
Hey, Eggman, wait up! Sonic, Chaos is a fearsome beast. If he gets that last Chaos Emerald, we're done for.
No need to explain. We'll get on it. Tails?
Right.
What? Oh, jeez.
Of all the times, why now to go on a snooze cruise? I don't get it.
This place. It looks familiar. It's not a dream after all.
Are you sure about that? Maybe it's a vision of the past. God only knows for sure.
Get out of my way!
No way!
Did you hear what I said?
I won't obey!
We need those 7 emeralds to give us total power. It's power for the people. And they are your people too, you know. We must get that emerald.
Greed is our enemy. Once it starts, you will always want more.
Funny enough, that's true.
Do this?
monster!
And he's pissed. Can you blame him? And everyone died. The end.
Hey, are you alright?
I think so. Oh my gosh! No, no, no!
Wait up!
Funny enough, this whole path sequence is the only one that actually has multiple events.
The servers, chaos is power enriched by the heart. The controller serves to unify the chaos. The 7 emeralds can change our thoughts into power. If this emerald controls that power, please, you must stop him.
Stop who? Chaos? Your father? Both? Who knows?
Wake up!
I was on a snooze cruise, I guess.
That face!
You just sort of conked out there. Knuckles left already. Come! We gotta go after the last emerald.
Lead the way.
It should still be on board the tornado too.
That face with Tails, I swear to God, is one of the funniest and most memeable faces in the entire Sonic series. Only to then be trampled by Sonic himself in Sonic Unleashed during the intro cutscene. I am dead serious. One of the most memeable faces there is. But hey, it's fun to make fun of these things every now and again. Now then, time to race off and grab the damn last Chaos Emerald.
Look! It's the tornado too!
Yeah, so let's get the Chaos Emerald and leave. What?
Well, shit.
No! He's got the last emerald!
Now what do we do?
Guess we'll die. Kidding. Oh dear. Welcome to Crisis City Water Edition. Made back in the early 90s, sweet Jesus. By that I obviously meant the late 90s to early 2000s, but you get the point, right? And here's your host, Perfect Chaos.
If I wasn't just dreaming, that monster is a real menace. Eggman. Looks like he's after Chaos too.
This egg carrier tool was made because something like this could happen. You have defied your master, stupid beast. Now you must be destroyed at all costs.
Lol. Chaos was like, I'm a fire in my laser. I don't even know how Eggman managed to escape.
I've had enough. Who do you think you are, anyway?
An almighty, all-destroying god? That's what he is?
It's you. The one who sealed chaos in the Master Emerald. Tikal.
I wonder how Sonic learned of her name.
My heart has always been in the Master Emerald along with Chaos's. Now he's filled with anger and sadness. And if it goes on, he'll eventually destroy the world like he did before. Look! He's absorbed the Emerald's power! He must be sealed in the Master Emerald now!
How can that help? It won't change how he feels inside, will it? His heart will still remain in turmoil, and his anger just won't vanish. He'll just be trapped forever.
What choice do we have?
Plenty.
Hey, Sonic!
Hey, Amy. What's up?
Amy,
Here, take this!
hey guys, what's up?
Chaos only used the negative power of the emeralds. Sonic, you should be able to harness their real power.
As much as I hate to admit it, I think Tails is right about this.
Go, Sonic! Yeah, Sonic!
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 Negative forces aren't the only way to empower the Chaos Emerald. Our positive feelings toward each other can make them work. Our hearts together form awesome power.
Alright, folks, here we go. Time to fight Perfect Chaos! So, just like with any other form of Supersonic that we've actually had experience with in the past, you start with 50 rings during the final boss battle, and over time, your ring count will deplete. If it runs out, your game is over. Or in other words, you die. Regardless of what surface you're standing on, whether it be on the actual road, bridge, whatever. There are several places where you can get more rings, but you still need to move quickly. Also, you are invincible while you are in your supersonic form. However, you can still be slowed down by Chaos, and if you're slowed down too much while going on the approach of attacking him, you're gonna be shit out of luck. It's not gonna be a fun time, let me tell you. So, in order to be able to build up your speed again, you will be needing to do a homing attack and also dash as fast as you possibly can. And even though we just depleted Chaos's health here, it's not over yet. Now we need to do the same exact thing again, except this time we're going to be looping back around. Plus, Chaos is going to be unleashing several new projectile-like attacks to try to slow us down. And also try to fire his freaking laser of death. Another thing worth noting, too, is that you need to be careful on the amount of rings you pick up during your first and second phase of this fight. As if you collect too many, and you really start to fall behind as far as speed is concerned. God damn it. Unfortunately, yeah, there is just no way you're going to be able to get any more rings. And if you're unable to pick up rings, you're going to be out of luck. Also, as shown there, if you are too slow, when you get inside Chaos to deal any sort of damage to him at all, yeah, he's going to force you right out. And let me tell you, it ain't going to be a fun time. The second phase is definitely a lot harder than the first, just because of the fact that he can slow you down so much, and there's not exactly a whole lot of places where you can get additional speed. Plus, if you lose too much speed too often, oh dear. Oh, come on! I was right goddamn there! See what I mean? That is just bull crap. Honestly, I feel as though certain areas are better for attacking Chaos over others. You can still technically defeat Chaos on a single run for every single place here. But like I said, some areas are just better than others just due to the fact that there's more speed pads in more places. Ah, damn it. I thought that would just barely be enough, but nope. Of course not. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to die because I screwed up way too damn much. What's even more annoying is that if you do end up kicking the bucket by means of either running out of rings or, you know, just that, running out of rings, you have to restart both phases of the fight all over again. There we go. Whew! Okay, that was actually not as bad as I thought. At least the deed is finally done.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time.
And thus Chaos is no more. Or at least his anger is quelled. All done.
Chaos has changed again, this time for the better.
Yeah! Supersonic must have neutralized it, so it's nice again.
These are the Chow you were protecting. They stayed alive for generations and now live peacefully with humans. The fighting's over, harmony's restored, and life goes on. Thank you so much.
All's well that ends well, right?
No. Just no.
Sonic?
So that was this game's title theme, Open Your Heart. One of my favorite Sonic songs of all time. Is it my favorite? No, honestly, it isn't. I think that honor has to go to Live and Learn, but that's just me. But I still love Open Your Heart as well. Definitely one of my favorites for sure. So, now that all adventures are officially complete, let's go over this stuff, shall we? Out of all characters in the game, Super Sonic's story is the only story in the entire game that you can actually choose to replay without having to start a new save file or delete the one you currently have. All other ones, as soon as you select their file or select their story and go into the game, you'll just immediately return to the adventure field. And like I said, if you want to replay their stories again, you'll have to either start up a new save file or just delete the one you have. But after completing all the character stories, or at least Sonic's story, you'll immediately unlock Mission Mode, which is a new addition added to Sonic Adventure DX. So what Mission Mode will do is, around the adventure fields, you'll be able to find special cards that activate missions, and they usually take place either within the adventure field themselves or within certain stages. This will be tackled at a later point in time, as my main goal after all is said and done, there is still, of course, the remaining emblems in the world. So, emblems are divided between the actual action stages themselves, and are divided by characters, minigames, which are the sub-games, and there's also another series of emblems you can get as well, from the actual adventure field, the Chow racing, and of course the endings, which we've gotten all the ending emblems for completing each character's story. So as you can see, there's quite a number of emblems we still need to get our hands on yet. So just completing all of the emblems, or just completing the main story, we still have quite a ways to go when it comes to emblem collecting. As you can see, Sonic has the most emblems that we can get our hands on for his stuff. And as far as the others are concerned, since we're technically an hour and 20 minutes into this session, I think what I will do here is I will start going after the adventure field emblems. As you can see, there's 12 of them in all, and we still have 7 more to get our hands on. I believe the remaining 7 can be collected as tails, I'm pretty sure. So you can go and collect these field emblems in 2 different ways, either via mission mode or returning to the adventure field by selecting adventure. So let's get to it.
Here it comes, Sonic!
Now, at some point, I will probably have to stop and look up a guide on where all the remaining field emblems are, but I do know of at least 2 of them and where they are. There we go, there's one of the emblems right there. You just slice up some weeds that are growing around this area. And that's, as they say, is that. I guess in the meantime, I'll also go over the Chow Garden stuff. You may have noticed 2 specialized eggs just laying around in the adventure field. There's this gold egg in this jewelry store, and there's also the silver egg. I believe the silver and gold Chows have unique properties and unique stats as compared to any other Chow type in the entire game, as far as I know? Maybe? Not too sure. Regardless, let's go ahead and set this stone egg down as it jitters, because reasons in physics. If you try to grab this egg normally, it locks down this entire store, not allowing you to leave. So we need to grab this giant stone that somehow is heavy enough to press down on the safety or lockdown mechanism holding this golden egg in place. So, now that that's done, all we need to do is just take this egg and head on over to a Chow Garden. And we might as well go ahead and drop this off on the one Chow Garden we have not yet unlocked, which is the Station Square Chow Garden. Funny enough, this is the only Chow Garden that actually has tutorials. And also, this is the only Chow Garden I know of that actually has the black market. Also, apologies for the screw-up within the user interface. Again, I'm pretty sure this has something to do with the whole resolution thing. I believe if you want things to look at their most optimal and actually look correct, I believe you have to change the configuration from your current resolution to like 640 by 480, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, things look kind of messed up like this. I can't even imagine what 4K looks like. It's probably even smaller than a freaking ant. Just saying. So within the black market, you can buy additional eggs, which I believe are handed out at random, and you can buy them using the rings you collected throughout the entire course of the game. But again, why would you, considering that we have the gold and silver eggs to work with here. There's also hero fruit, and I believe there's dark fruit as well at some point here. You can also buy these unique items here, such as this stump, paper bag, flower pot, etc. And you can give these to your Chow, and if they approve of the item, they'll put them on their head. Pretty neat. You can also sell regular items here that you pick up around the adventure field, I guess. Well, not really. More like around the Chow Garden, if anything else. But, even so, it is something else worth mentioning, nonetheless. So, what I'm going to do, excuse me, is I'm going to set up a straw poll and let you guys decide on which color Chow I'm going to be using for the Chow races. Also, another adventure emblem which can only be grabbed as tails here. So that's 2 emblems down. We have 5 more to find. So then, it's time to look up where the hell the remaining emblems are. Great! Actually, before I do, I am going to grab the silver Chow egg, which, thankfully, is not too far from where we are. Heading back over to the Mystic Ruins, I actually did kind of allude this back in the first session. Just push this random stone slab in, and the silver Chow egg will just be floating in the river here. It'll eventually reach its destination, which is over here. And you can just easily pick it up, grab it, take it to a Chow Garden, and be done with it. So, like I said, I am going to be setting up a straw poll. And if you're watching this on YouTube, the link to the straw poll will be in the description. Okay, seriously? What? Come on, pick up the egg. Stop spinning at it. Great, is this glitched? I think it is. Maybe I gotta get it sooner before it reaches its destination. Otherwise it becomes kind of crapped out. So I think what I'll do here is if you happen to soft lock an object, just like before, all you have to do is just simply leave the room and the object is still here. Wait, what? Alright, let's try this instead. I'm gonna exit and reload. Let's try that again now, shall we? And hopefully this time it won't get stuck and we're forced into a soft lock. By the way, whenever you reload into an adventure field, whether you're reloading into the adventure field from the adventure screen or from mission mode, you always end up in Station Square. So if you want to return to any other part of the adventure field... Okay, what is going on here? Now the egg vanished. Okay, this is concerning. I'm going to try someone else. Let's just say screw it and grab Big the freaking cat.
Your character.
I'm going to try him. Not because there's really anyone else to use, but rather I wonder if the egg disappeared. Because it looks like it just did that. Never have I encountered that problem before, where if you fail to grab a Chow egg after you release it from its holding place, the egg just outright vanishes. Again, that's not supposed to happen. Crap. Well, so much for the poll because the silver Chow egg is gone. Or, no, it's right here. I'm an idiot. Come on, Big, pick up the egg. Stop standing around. Come on, pick it up. It's not hard. I don't think this has anything to do with the mod whatsoever. It's just the physics being incredibly wonky. I think for some reason this egg is just stuck in between the slope. Ah, there we go, finally. Finally, it worked. Jesus, that took forever, and that took way too much effort just to pick up a freaking silver egg out of the water. Good Lord above. Well, looks like this poll is still on after all. I know I could technically set up this poll now with a straw poll and everything and just link it, but due to my current setup, and the fact that I'm playing the game in full screen mode, I can't exactly do that effectively. Okay, that was a dumb idea. I should have just took it to the Chow Garden instead. Shit. I wonder if it's back in the same place as before. And now it's gone again. What the fuck? There it is. Okay, this egg is one of the weirdest eggs I've ever seen in my life. It's one of those weird things where it only appears whenever it feels like it. It, like, pulls out a vanishing act. I honestly don't understand how that even works. Must be a glitch. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, regardless, though. I guess we'll go ahead and deliver this to the proper egg Chow Garden. Which, funny enough, we can take the transporter that is somewhere within this place, or right here, right over to the Station Square Garden. By the way, for whatever reason, even if you're using a controller, the game feels the need to, display the keyboard controls. I honestly don't understand why that is the case, but it's weird. And it only applies to the Chow Garden. Everywhere else, it displays perfectly. I think it's like that with vanilla Sonic Adventure DX as well. outside of mods. I'm just saying. Alright, so we got... Looks like we got 4 emblems left to hunt down. Okay. At this point, I think I am just going to look up where all the remaining emblems are. So, this is going to take a little bit of time to look up, and I'll be back momentarily. Okay, I think I might have found the video that I'm looking for. So, I'm not sure, but I feel like this emblem that I'm currently looking at right now is like an emblem I picked up with Tails while I was exploring Station Square. However, this video I looked up, he grabbed it with Knuckles after digging into the ground within a certain spot. And funny enough, it's in the same area. So around here. No? I guess I managed to grab said emblem with Tails. Alrighty. Well, that was kind of a bust. Alright, on to the next one, I guess. Oh. Well.
Which character?
Thanks, Blaze Troopa. Or Blaze Troops. Whatever. Regardless. Thanks. Next Field Emblem. I can't believe I forgot about picking this up. This is one of the easier ones to pick up. Go into the restaurant. There we go. Emblem grabbed. Alright, where's the next one? Okay. Makes sense. Alright. Now I've figured out where another emblem is. Or, at the very least, I've seen where another one is. I believe this one can be collected as either Tails, which is the intended way, or as Sonic, I believe, with some clever maneuverability. In other words, spin dash jumping. Just saying. So, in order to get this emblem, what we need to do here is actually return to the bridge of the egg carrier, and also switch it back to combat mode. Otherwise, this emblem will not show up. And there it is. Okay, cool. Now, I believe there's another... Yep, there's another Field Emblem right here, which, again, I believe can only be accessed while the egg carrier is in combat mode. Okay, well, at least we got 2 more emblems under our belt. I'm not sure if that's all of them or not, but I'm pretty sure it's not. But just to check and make sure, it's worth looking at. Let's see how many we have left. Looks like 1 left, and thankfully I at least remember where this one is. It is also on the egg carrier, but this one I believe can only be grabbed as Sonic. So this is going to be kind of tricky. Let me tell you. The reason why Sonic is possibly the only one who can get this is because I believe certain functions of the egg carrier will only activate when Sonic is the one on the adventure field. All other characters, not so much. And that functionality is the cannons here. Sonic can freely hop into these cannons and go for a ride if he so wishes. I'm not sure if anyone else can, though, so that is something to keep in mind. Well, I did not quite mean to do that. Come on, get in the cannon, please. God damn it. I hate it when Sonic just falls straight down on his face. Alright. Perhaps the reason why he's falling straight down is because I'm hitting the ledge. Alright. Perhaps I need to switch this ship back to combat mode in order to get this to function properly. Did I just glitch through the floor? Wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Okay. Let's actually try something else. Okay. So after switching the egg carrier back to combat mode, I believe where we need to go next, in order to get to this next emblem, or this last adventure field emblem rather, is we need to, like I said, activate combat mode. Also, what the hell? Why did my controls suddenly lock up for no reason? Damn it! Come on, game! Again, I'm not sure why hitting that spring locks up your controls. Cannon. Just pop the lid open if you want to go in. If you want to get shot somewhere, that is. Watch out, though. After the transformation, it may put you into orbit. Neat. Whee! And there it is. There's the last emblem. Bada bing, bada boom. So that's all the adventure field emblems, and we're not even 2 hours into this session. Good lord. That was unexpected. Alright, let's see. What do we have left? Of course, we still have the other minigame emblems to pick up, such as the high score ones we've yet to achieve. And there's also apparently another set that I've missed. I believe the set I've missed were for Twinkle Circuit? No.
Select your character.
This is interesting.
Select a game. Select your... Okay, let's go.
I wonder what those two missing emblems are all about.
Select a game.
Because it doesn't look like there's much of anything to speak of here.
Select a game.
Ah, Hedgehog Hammer. That's it. That's the bonus game. Apparently you can score some emblems here. Okay, that's interesting. So I believe for Hedgehog Hammer, in order to earn the first emblem, you have to score 3rd place at the least. And finally, for the last emblem, you have to beat your high score. I think. I think that's how it works.
Select your character.
By the way, you can access a boss rush mode here in the Trials menu for any and all characters in the game. And you can choose to participate in it if you wish, but it does not give you an emblem in this game, so there's really not much of a point in doing it. Alright, somehow selected the wrong menu.
Select a game.
Okay. So again, like I said, the boss rush thing, I believe for Sonic's story in particular, you'll be able to play through all the bosses and all of throughout the entirety of Sonic's story, and I believe you can fight Perfect Chaos here too if you want. In fact, I guess I'll go ahead and show this off just for fun. Might as well add on to the runtime anyway. And also just to show off Boss Rush in the first place. Boss Rush, I believe, is no different versus fighting the actual bosses themselves throughout the course of the main story. The only difference, of course, being that you have all your upgrades from the adventure field with you. And it's not like it becomes any easier or anything like that. Plus, there's no Steam achievement or even an achievement in that, for that matter, for finishing or just completing a single series of boss rushes for any character, or even all characters for that matter. Again, boss rush is optional. In fact, I think there's even a miscellaneous speedrunning category for this game for boss rush. All done. Bye-bye, Eggman. You could also probably use this mode as a means of grinding rings, maybe? I really do not know for sure. So, you may be wondering, what's next? What's the next thing that's going to be on the agenda? Well, obviously, we still have lots of emblems to hunt down. Not just the Field Emblems, the Adventure Field Emblems I picked up earlier. No, there's actually more to it. As you may have noticed, there's 2 more emblems per stage that you can earn with any given character, for the most part. There's also the minigame emblems that we still yet to pick up, for obvious reasons. Oh wow, this is a new attack. Haven't seen anything like this before. Hello, a raid! What do we have here? Rockhawk! Thank you so much for the raid, dude. Highly appreciate it. Pretty sweet. Anyway, you're just in time for Boss Rush. Just to add on to the stream, why not, right? I also wanted to show off Boss Rush for at least Sonic's story anyway, so... Again, it's optional. You don't need to do this in order to get all the emblems in the game. By the way, speaking of all remaining emblems, what I'm going to do is I am going to be making a regular video explaining how I'm going to be going about getting all these damn emblems. And what I'm thinking here is I'm going to be taking the Slim Kirby approach when it comes to emblem grinding. That includes the Chow Garden stuff. So, more details to come at a future point in time. Nice throw. There we go. Damn it, I missed. I'm done. Wow. Chaos 6 defeated in less than a minute. That's insane. No way! I can't believe this! Alright. We'll see what happens after we defeat the Egg Viper. Will we fight Perfect Chaos? Or will we not? Like I said, all boss fights during Boss Rush don't act any differently versus how you fought them the first time during the adventure mode.
See if you can make it through here, Sonic.
Goodbye.
Get a load of this. Get a load of this.
See if you can make it through here, Sonic.
Get a load of this. Get a load of this.
I wonder how many rings there are in this arena. If I have to guess, there's probably 40.
It's no use. Give up.
I don't even know how I managed to not get hit there.
See if you can make it through here, Sonic.
Get a load of this. 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 It's no way.
It's no way! I can't believe this! That's too funny.
Full power.
Come on, then. Wow, I jumped way too early. And now my groove is thrown off completely. God damn it! Oh boy. I wonder, do you have unlimited lives while you're doing Boss Rush?
Get a load of this.
Wow, thank you for the follow, dude. Highly appreciate it.
Get a load of this.
It is...
Get a load
Game is Desk Maker? I hope I read that right. If not, my apologies. Regardless, thank you so much for the follow, dude. Highly appreciate it.
Get a load of this. Get a load of this.
Honestly, whenever I fight the Egg Viper, I always inevitably die at least once. Every time I fight him.
See if you can.
Yes, it is. It is quite an awesome game.
Get a load of this. Get a load of this. Get a load of this. Get a load of this.
I swear to God, you can turn this into a literal drinking game. Every time Eggman says, "Get a load of this!" Take a drink. You'll probably suffer alcohol poisoning by the time you're done. Who knows?
See if you can make it through here, Sonic.
Goodbye.
Get a load of this. Get a
Alright, let's try this again. And hopefully we won't get our asses killed.
Get a load of this. It's no use. Give up.
See if you can make it through here, Sonic.
Get a load of this. Get a load of this. It's no way. I can't believe this.
How? How did I miss?
Get a load of this.
Well, crap.
Get a load of.
I did not mean to do that. All because I didn't wait long enough.
give up.
There we go. Much better.
All systems, full power.
Oh boy. Again, I just gotta remember to be patient when it comes to these things.
It's no use. Give up.
Better.
He's not gonna get away with this. It's no use. Give up.
Boop.
I can't believe this.
Watch out! He's up to something.
No duh. Oh, come on! How? That's like grunty levels of predictability. Like, Jesus. I don't goddamn fucking even. Again with the bullshit. I swear to God. That's what happens if you deal the final blow to the egg viper and fail to escape its explosive rage. You die along with it. And the longer you take, the more difficult it becomes to dodge it. Eventually it'll become impossible.
See if you can make it through here.
Nice. Way to sequence break. Kind of. Not really. Even so. Yes, it does. Just because there's just so much waiting around. Waiting for all the attacks to go off, dodging them all. You know? Might as well have a little fun while we're dodging lasers and drinking ourselves into the grave every time Eggman says, "Get a load of this!"
It's no use. Give up. See if you can make it. Get a load of this. Get a load of this. It's no way. I can't believe. All systems, full power.
Alright, come on.
It's no use. Give up. He's not gonna get away with this. It's no use. Give up. No way. I can't believe this.
Alright, let's try this again.
Watch out! He's up to something.
There we go. Much better.
Hey, I'll play with you some other
There we go. I guess you don't fight Perfect Chaos in Sonic's Boss Rush. So, I guess that makes sense.
Select your character.
Again, it was just a little fun little distraction I felt like showing off, just because. So, we are at a little over 2 hours, technically 2 hours and 2 minutes at this point. So, at this point, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is call it a day here early, as much as I hate to do it. And the reason why is because there's a lot of things I need to prepare and get set up. Or more or less, I gotta prepare that introductory video on how I'm going to be handling the remaining emblems of the game and how it's going to be structured. Like I said, I'm going to be taking the Slim Kirby approach, except I'm not going to be waiting till months on end to go after them. I'm actually going to be going after them starting in the next session. So there's quite a lot of emblems left to hunt down. We gotten quite a large number of them, I think around 54. As you can see, there's like tons and tons of emblems. And we still have a ways to go. Trust me, it's going to be fun. So like I said earlier, there is going to be a straw poll of deciding which Chow I'm going to be using as far as either the gold or silver Chow. So, yeah, link to that when you're watching this in the future on YouTube. Links to that is in the description below. For now, though, like I said, I'm going to be ending today's session of Sonic Adventure DX. So this is General Snivy with said game. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you were able to attend the live stream live, thank you for attending. Next time, the Great Emblem Grind officially begins. It's gonna be fun, let me tell you. Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, again, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you are all looking forward to my inevitable suffering. And I'll see you all on the flip side.